Happy April, everyone. This is Jay Joseph with A Touch of Mystery and More Entertainment Group, and I am bringing live to you an entire series of Meet the Cast of A Touch of Mystery and More Entertainment Group, because we have so many wonderful performers that do things much more than just acting and singing. And today I'm bringing Lisa and Ron Smith. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. You guys have been in town how long now?
Almost 15 years now.
Wow. And you've seen a lot of changes in the industry alone in Las Vegas. Lisa, why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience in Vegas and also about what you do, because there's something that everyone's going to want to know about. It's really important to have a very good website these days because there's so much going on with social media and everything. And you are the owner of Geek Girls, correct?
I am. Yeah, aside from singing jazz in town and doing different performing things, I own Geek Girls in Vegas. Provide websites and branding, online services for entertainers, for small businesses, for entrepreneurs. Nowadays, it's crazy when I look at how many people don't have an online presence. Everything is online. That's how people get hired. So I try to help people do that.
Absolutely. And you do it for yourself as well, so you know the importance of it.
That's how I started it, is not having the money to pay anybody else to do it. So I learned how to do it all myself. And then everybody started saying, oh, can you do one for me? Oh, can you do that for me? So.
Right. And for those of you that don't know Lisa, she's extremely detail-oriented and organized. She is a great person to hand a project to, and you know that you're in good hands, definitely. As well as being an amazing performer as well. Ron, you are one of the most requested MCs in Las Vegas.
Yes, I
am. Thankfully.
Absolutely. I mean, that booming voice, it's great. But and you do voiceover work as well, right?
I do voiceover. I have my own studio in my house so that if anybody gets in touch with me, I can record it right there if they don't have a studio where we're going to work from.
That's awesome. And you guys get a chance to work together as well because you work together in the show Shades of Sinatra, right?
We do. It's four of us, Lisa, myself, and two other gentlemen celebrating the music of Frank Sinatra, not trying to be Frank Sinatra.
Right. Oh, a great Frank Sinatra. Yeah.
And you have a show coming up, don't you?
No, actually, we just completed one at Italian American Club. Went really well with a 6-piece band behind us.
Excellent.
It's a lot of fun, again, singing amazing music that he sang, telling stories about Frank Sinatra. It's very audience interactive also. It's multimedia. So it's a good time was had by all.
Well, that's awesome. And let's stay on the subject of interactive, because both of you are so much fun to play with in the murder mysteries. And Lisa, you're new with us, relatively new, doing the murder mysteries. And every time we rehearse, you guys, just so you know, I tell Lisa, I lean over and I say, my God, you were so natural at this. This is for you. So why don't you guys share a little bit about your experience of working with A Touch of Mystery and talk about any of the favorite roles you have and any of your favorite shows. And if you have a funny story of anything that happened, why don't you fill us in?
You've been with them the longest.
I have been with a little bit longer, I think at least 5-6 years now.
Yeah.
And so many different roles, so many shows. Jay does an amazing job with writing these mysteries and coming up with all the little red herrings and tangents to the plot line. And it's funny because we have the basis of the scripts with a possible of who might have done it, but until it's all done, we don't even know if we did it or not.
Right.
So that's always an interesting thing in the works. Keeps everybody on their toes that way. And of course, as you're going through everything, you want to throw suspicion, but you also want to pull suspicion. So it keeps audience members intrigued and really wondering, oh, is it? Oh, I think it. No, now they just said that, and it's fun to listen to the audience talk about everything as we go through.
Yeah.
I would say some of my favorite roles is Rattlesnake, which we're getting ready to do again with Mystery and Earthquake. Here shortly, because he's just a big kind of glump guy, and something happens to him, but his brother does come through. So that's a lot of fun to do, and we most of the shows we have both a straight version and musical versions. And with the background of musical theater, obviously, the musical version's a little bit more fun because we can play with the songs and possibly play with the audience a little bit more with that. but all of it's a good time. One of my favorite stories is, which I wasn't quite involved with, is when we were up in Reno. It's the Kelly story.
Kelly story.
It's the Kelly story, and if anybody knows Kelly Wright, you probably already know this story, where she had bought these wonderful bracelets at the airport for all of the girls to wear in the show, and we were doing the show, and she's reaching over, and there were lit candles on the tables, and as she reached over, she caught her little wrap on fire, but because of that beautiful bracelet, she couldn't get it off. And the audience thought it was all part of the act, and they're clapping. It was amazing. And that's the biggest thing about these shows. Yeah, exactly. The biggest thing about these shows is you never know what's going to happen, and that makes it so much fun.
Absolutely. And, you know, Ron, it's been so nice to have you step in as inspector. And because when I write these stories, I have a vision of the characters, but everybody that comes in to play the characters, as you know, I want to see what you bring to it naturally. And so your take on the inspectors, the one you just did in Palm Springs, was hysterical as Gerald Nesbitt. And that was the first time that Ruby's Riddle had ever been done as a musical. And Lisa, you brought something so great to your character and the way that you chose to play her. And it just all unfolded. I wish I could have been a fly on the wall for that.
It was probably my favorite role so far was playing Pearl Essence. And
Pearl Essence.
Pearl Essence. And she works for the king. She's English. But I was always so worried about my English accent that I developed this whole story, you know, with my father's from Manchester and my mother's from Ireland, because that way if my accent sucked, it didn't matter because I have this great, you know, so it
Hey, that happens to me when I play the inspector. If I'm playing the New York inspector and I walk by somebody with a Southern accent, that's it. I start talking Southern.
Yeah, exactly. But it was a lot of fun. We had a great cast, and I was going to say my favorite thing about doing the shows is how much the audience gets involved. You know, sometimes we walk in and they start off being, you know, very proper and they're not really sure, and we've got these crazy characters walking around, and within like 20 minutes they are all into it and they are all like fighting against each other, and they're like, no, I know what it is, and do this, and you talked about this, and they just have such a blast. So that's why I love doing them.
Absolutely. One of my favorite memories of you in rehearsal is you and Gret were doing the vignettes, Barney and Velma, in All Fair in Love and Music. And the minute you put the wig on, you were pretending like you were chewing gum, and the whole character just came out.
That was a fun show.
It was great. Well, guys, I appreciate you coming on the show so much. Everyone, once again, if you're looking for amazing websites or information on how to get your name out there, Lisa is the one to contact. You want to go to geekgirls.com. Is that right? Is that the right address?
InVegas.com.
Geekgirlsinvegas.com. And if you ever need an MC, Ron is amazing, and he does the slot tournaments in town. And like I said, he's one of the most requested. So I thank you both for coming on today. I look forward to playing with you more in the future, in our future murder mysteries. And have a great day, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us.
Pleasure.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.